In this video, we'll be going over the opening range breakout. As I always say, every morning at the bell, the market gives you a gift. Thing is, you have to know how to take it. So that's why I'll be showing you a simple, clean, and high conviction setup for my opening range breakout strategy on multiple time frames and give you real world examples. Now let's jump right into it. So this is the opening range breakout. I'm on the 5-minute time frame and I'm on the 1 day. And just as an overlay, the opening range breakout in this strategy, it composes of the VWAP bands, as I'm highlighting over here, goes from green, sometimes no color over here, for example, and then goes to red, right over here, back to green, and it switches based off the VWAP. And also we have the anchor VWAP right over here, which is based off the previous day, I believe. We'll check the study in a few minutes to make sure. And obviously we have the candles, which go from red to green to neutral, showing whether you're on risk for upside for the green candles, on risk for downside for the red candles, or no risk with the neutral candles, showing there's no clear direction given the setup. And then we also have the standard deviation right here. Honestly, don't really use the standard deviation. I don't find it as helpful as the other indicators, but it's just included in here as another step in the conviction process. And down here we have the RSI. Obviously, if you know, 70 being high on the RSI, 30 being low on the RSI. Usually we see some sort of a rebound whether we go above 70 or below 30, but that's usually an indicator I worked with a couple years ago, so I'm not usually too familiar with it at the moment. But this strategy is mostly based on the VWAPs. As you can see, we have the VWAP band and obviously the anchored VWAP. So if we jump into we'll go into a real world example. We'll zoom in a little bit. I'm on the Mountain Time Zone, so market starts for me at 7:30 a.m. So we'll go right here, 7:30. You see, we open up for the market. We're hanging right below the anchor VWAP, below the VWAP band. So as you can see, we're on risk for downside, on risk for downside. We have a volume pop, neutral candle, back down, selling pressure. As you can see, volume indicates it down here. Pop back up, neutral candle, trying to break into the VWAP band, pops above, about to hold, and then nope, couldn't hold above the VWAP band, barely closed above, and then slammed right back down, right below the anchor VWAP. You see it closed above the anchor VWAP here. In my opinion, that'll be an indication to on risk to go up, but as you see, we didn't get further confirmation through the VWAP band. So back down, downside, pops back up, rejects off the anchor VWAP, back down, downside, make a new low, recover, pop back up, neutral candles, as we're getting back into the VWAP bands. Neutral candles can't pop up, but it's not letting us back down either. So neutral candles, so we're not at risk for anything. Start making our way up, testing the VWAP, the upper band of the VWAP bands. Up, and we finally break out. Not only do we break out, but we close above the VWAP bands on this 5-minute candle at 9:50 Mountain Time. So that's a clear indication that we're heading to an uptrend. As we can see, up, continuing the uptrend. We go forward a little bit. You see we get a little bit of a pullback, stagnant, bouncing off the top of the VWAP band, bouncing off, goes down into the VWAP band, but closes above. It's a clear indication that we're on risk to go to the upside. Keep going forward, upside. Then we get another little pullback. Pullbacks back into the VWAP band, neutral candle, back green, neutral candle, and then into the VWAP band we go, back neutral until we get some conviction to the downside, which would be a candle close below the VWAP band, as you can see right here at 3 p.m. So that's a little example right here, and obviously we're on NQ. We could go to an actual stock now, being Tesla, for example, and go to Tesla. As you can see here, just obviously still in the 5-minute time frame, still pretty same idea. Obviously you could see a much more bullish setup just here on Tesla opposed to just regular NQ. Obviously NQ includes all of tech, so a few may be outliers doing better or worse. And Tesla we see here holding above the VWAP bands during pre-market, and then open up, test into the VWAP bands, test the anchor VWAP. Zoomed in a little too much there. Let's go back. Testing the anchor VWAP, holding it, break below the anchor VWAP, go into the VWAP bands, but we hold the VWAP bands, we go back up, pop up above the anchor VWAP, and then we continue the uptrend, VWAP bands go up, and we keep bouncing off them as support until we get more of a deeper pullback down here. Obviously we had some big volume, as you can see right here, pulled us down here below the VWAP, but we closed in the middle to the top range of the VWAP and VWAP bands, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, this is another example for Tesla. And to continue, this is my second strategy for the opening range breakout. This is my second go-to, and we're back on NQ right now on the 5-minute, and this is more of a simpler opening range breakout. As you can see, it's less more in your face with the observational and the chart details, but to break it down, it's mostly based on the EMAs rather than the VWAP as the previous opening range breakout was. You could see the indicators, and obviously it implants a high and low based on what we'll see in the studies in a minute or so. So you could see we have the EMAs, and honestly, I'm not going to pretend to be a guru here. I'm not the biggest EMA guy. It's not my favorite indicator, but I know a lot of people do, and I think it's going to be a great help to people. So I will certainly include the studies in the description. And if anyone has any information they want about a particular study or indicator, always email me at info@msfutures.net. I'll be sure to answer it as soon as possible and provide the relevant information. Most of my studies come from the Thinkorswim community, and I'll show you right here. We'll go into the strategy right away. Obviously this by Walking Ballista and Ben 10 on Use Think Script. I'll provide this link in the description. This is a big part of where I find my strategies and build upon them, or find specific indicators like my anchored VWAP, which I tweaked a little bit. We'll do a separate video on that. But we scroll down, obviously just EMA cross, EMA, and then we go down, still more EMAs, cross and close, crosses above. So this strategy is mostly based off the EMAs, and you can see it provides a high and low. And we'll give a little example here, where obviously we're on NQ, so we'll go to around 7:30 a.m., which is my market open. You can see the high and low, it starts around 7 a.m., so 30 minutes before market open. And you could see I personally, I'm not gonna lie, like I said before, I'm not a big EMA guy. So how I really use this indicator is I go off these highs and lows, these support and resistance, these key levels, whether the deviation, support, resistance, or just a psychological level. Like for example, for stocks, I look at if they're heading near 100 or 200 or 300, or vice versa, heading down to 100, heading down to 200, down to 300. Those are pretty big psychological levels. Institutions love to defend those levels, and obviously retail does as well. You see a stock heading to 100, you want to buy. So this is just a good indicator that obviously the EMAs are a big part of it, but I really use it for these support and resistance lines. So we'll give an example right here. You see we have our support written right here. Obviously, pre-market, holding above, market opens, get a big drop down. As you can see, the volume candle right down here, drop down, clear right below that support. Try and pop up, get denied at that support. Little fake out right there because the volume pops back up. We get a big green candle, but again, even bigger fake out, right back down, make a new low, try to pop above, have a little bit of resistance here at the support level, and then we pop all the way back above it, have some weakness right here, some indecisiveness. And what I love the most is these few candles right here, boom, boom, and boom. How you have it bouncing right off your support, that is one of the highest convictions I could have as a scalper, particularly because that all we're looking for is how the candle closes. So as you can see, candle went down to about 22,950 on this one, and obviously we closed at about 22,975. So that's a 20-point move right there. And for our future scalpers and futures traders out there, that's a good example. But we'll go to a stock really fast. Go to Apple, and as you can see right here, a lot more volatility actually, but still 30 minutes before market open, we have our support and resistance written, obviously with our EMAs. We'll go off our support again. As you can see, break down below, another that same fake out, same down below, make a new low, pop back up, have some trouble crossing the support, or down below, then we get some, this is a big momentum candle for me. As we can see, it's a big hangman candle, leads to an even bigger green candle, and we pop right above that support into the bigger uptrend, and then we fall back down to the support, back test on the support channel, and this would be a great opportunity to go long, because this would give you some confirmation bias to the upside, and to the going back up to the uptrend as we do. As you can see, it goes up, and then we back test again. So I'm not saying it's perfect. Obviously, you have to overlay with other indicators and other strategies to get your conviction higher, but this is just another tool in your tool set that us traders can use and try to utilize in the best way, especially in the most crucial markets of the day during the first 30 minutes, as it's called the opening range breakout. So to make a long story short, opening range breakout, it's really focused towards the first 15 to 30 minutes of the market open. That's what the strategies and indicators are based on, whether they're from the VWAP for the first one or the EMAs for the second one we're looking at right here, or it could be something else for the MACDs, or incorporating more of the RSI or the deviations, whatever it may be. It's focused on the first 15 to 30 minutes, determining the breakout, determining if you should be on risk to the upside, downside, or more importantly, not risk at all. So this is my explanation of the opening range breakout and showcasing a couple of my studies. As I said before, I'll provide the studies and the links to the Thinkorswim script in the description. And if you have any other questions, you can email me at info@msfutures.net. I plan on posting videos more consistently and having the quality improve over time, and I hope you tag along to witness the journey. Please have a great day. Thank you.